Alrighty.
Give them a warm welcome, Keely.
Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Instantly 20, your favourite podcast. I'm Keely.
I'm Ash.
And today we are coming at you to chat about overconsumption. I feel like this has been something that's been trending on TikTok, especially lately. People are like, what's the word? De-influencing people and trying to convince people to come into underconsumption now. So we kind of wanted to share our thoughts on this topic and everything that there is to talk about it.
Let's get into it. Oh wait, now we're going to do our tea first.
Yes, stay tuned for your instant tea.
Okay, so my tea is that my partner and I just upgraded our bed. We just found the most beautiful bed ever. And we were actually sleeping on a mattress on the floor for a few days, but we upgraded our bed, we upgraded our mattress, and I just feel like it was a beautiful purchase. I feel like Keely and I have been talking about adult purchases lately and how we feel like, I don't know, we're not just out here buying random shit anymore. Like it's a household.
Can you please tell them about the dimensions of this bed and how it fits into your room?
Oh, okay. No, stop, because I'm going to be like, you're actual idiots.
You have to do it.
It's our dream bed, right? Like, it's beautiful. And at the moment, we're just renting. So we were like, oh, like, shit, we really love this bed. We measured it, and it actually doesn't fit in the room with the door open all the way. So I guess we're just going to have to be sliding in and out of the doorway. It opens, like, up, like, half the way. I'm like, are people going to think I'm fucking stupid if I tell them that?
It's so funny, I can't.
Don't judge, guys.
When she told me, I couldn't believe it. Their bedroom's really small, and this bed's one of the ones that has like a full 360 bed frame, like the really nice ones that you've seen on TikTok. They kind of look like a cloud. Like, they're so nice.
It's called a cloud bed. I
love them. But Ash and her boyfriend have a sliding door that goes out to the balcony that then has a sliding door that goes to their lounge room. And I was like, maybe you could just start using the sliding door as your your bedroom door and just keep the bedroom closed the whole time. That's my fix for it. But when she told me that, I was like, there's no way. Like, are you going to be okay with the fact that your door doesn't really open? She was like, it'll be fine. We've only got 12 months left of our lease.
So our room is practically just all bed. Like, it's not actually...
It's not a bedroom, it's just a bed.
It's a room with a bed. You basically open the door and then you just have to jump into the bed.
Literally.
But it's so pretty, and I just thought, like, if we're making this purchase now, I don't know, like, it's our dream bed. We love it.
You crack me up. I couldn't believe
that. They're gonna think I'm fucking stupid, Kills. I shouldn't have told them.
It's
I was
funny.
like, I don't know if I want to tell them or not. I'm going to have to show you guys a photo just for context because
it's really funny.
I love it. It's really pretty, but...
Anyway. Well, I'm happy for you. I'll have to come have a sleepover, kick your boyfriend out so I can see if the bed was worth it.
Okay, well, I have to say, they were supposed to deliver it today, and today's my day off, and I was kind of stressed thinking, like, oh my God, they're going to think I'm stupid for telling them, oh, can you please open it with the door shut? Like
please build the bed with the door closed.
Arrange the whole bed with the door actually shut. Don't actually open it because otherwise our door won't shut. But look, I'm fine. If we like shove it all the way up to the corner of the room, like it will open obviously. But we kind of just want it to be.
Built it with the door open.
But we kind of want it to just be like in the center of the room, so the dimensions just weren't in our favor. Anyway, I just was like, we'll have to put up with it for 12 months. Anyway, it's fine, guys. I feel like it's just such a me thing to do. But thank God he will be here tomorrow, so I had to reschedule it to tomorrow. So he's taking the day off work to get our bed all organised, and they're gonna have to think that he's an idiot, not me. So anyway,
okay, my tea for this week. Me and my roommate were watching a show on Netflix like the other week. I can't even remember what it's called, but basically it's about like the bubonic plague. It kind of reminds me of Horrible Histories a little bit. If anybody knows what that is, the plague started from like rats. Anyway, basically like we're watching this show and my boyfriend had called me and he FaceTimed. He's like, oh, what are you guys up to? And we're like, oh, we're watching like a show about rats. And he was like, what the hell? And we were like FaceTiming. He was like, oh, weird. Okay, bye guys. Anyway, and we're sitting there for like the next hour just like watching this show, and it's kind of getting late and it's dark because we turned all the lights out, and I was about to put myself to bed and I just happened to glance at the floor, and you know what I see? A freaking rat in the house running past me, past the kitchen, and then it disappeared, and I was just staring and I was like, so confused because I was so tired. I was like, what the hell? And I just looked at my roommate and I was like, oh my God, I just saw a rat. And she was like, what? And I was like, there's a rat. And we both just jumped up and we're standing on this couch for like 20 minutes being like, where is this rat? We were so scared to go on the ground. We didn't know what to do. And we were just like, holy shit, how do we go to bed? Like, what if it crawls into my room in my sleep? Anyway, we never found the rat. And I'm very confident that it's still living in our house in the walls. So now I have a fear of going into the kitchen and I have to stomp on the floor every time I go in just in case it's around so it knows that I'm coming and it'll like hide. So that's great. And I think the only reason it's here is because we think that the next door neighbors did pest control and maybe it's their rat. And now Remy from Ratatouille has decided to make our kitchen his kitchen. So
Remy from Ratatouille.
We have a my boyfriend was like, don't kill Remy. And I was like, Remy can get lost. Like, get him out of my house. So yeah, now I'm really scared and I don't really want to walk around in the kitchen now. So good times.
God, that's actually frightening. Frightening. Why did I say it like that?
But I was like, what are the odds of us watching a show that's like about the rats? And then I see a rat on the floor. I was like,
the rats don't run this city. We do. Have you seen that?
Yeah.
Oh my god. That's so funny. Well,
so
anyway, the rats are here to learn about underconsumption.
Literally so irrelevant from today's episode, but okay, we may as well get straight into it. So if anybody doesn't know what overconsumption is, basically it is... Oh my God.
Get us a definition up on Google, Keely. Why not?
I did. I actually wrote it in my notes. Okay. Overconsumption is what happens when an ecosystem can no longer sustain the use of its resources, right? And they think... I found full stats. The problem is especially apparent in America, checks out, which is responsible for the consumption of 17% of the world's energy. Social media sites such as TikTok promote overconsumption by influencing viewers to purchase unnecessary items or pieces of clothing in order to be trendy. So that is what we are going to be talking about today. Just kind of, I guess, how it affects the environment, how it like clutters your house, all of the things. What do you think about overconsumption, Ash? Tell me your thoughts. Let's start the chat.
I will say, I think everyone can collectively say that they have been part of the problem because of TikTok.
I 100% agree.
Like, I have definitely, since this whole thing has come out about being, underconsumption, I've honestly, like, kind of realised, true, like, what the fuck? Like, I have been playing a part in it. Most of my friends have been playing a part in it. And it just, I don't know. Now I'm just realising I am...
the problem. I am.
Am I the problem? No, but I've started to realise it's like no matter how many perfumes you have, no matter how many pairs of sunglasses you have, how many different blush combos or lip combos you have, like that doesn't make you any more worthwhile of a person.
Yeah, for sure.
And that doesn't make you any more likable. Yeah, if you know what I mean. I feel like we all put it down to be like, you kind of look at it from the perspective of when you grow up and you're going through like school and stuff, you just want to fit in, right? You want to have what everyone else has. You want to have the right backpack, the right school shoes, the right iPhone, the right makeup products. And then I feel like it steps into a whole different world when you're an adult and you've got big person purchases to make and like you're paying rent and, you know, a lot of people have got bills and stuff. And it's like you don't really need to be buying all this extra stuff. So like who are we trying to do this for? Like you're not in high school. You're not trying to, you know, get approved by your peers just because you've got the right things. So who's this for at the end of the day? Like, is it for social media? Is it for yourself to feel accepted by other people in society? Like,
you know,
I don't know, sorry guys, we've just jumped straight into it straight
literally.
away. But I don't know,
No.
I've had a different view on it.
I was going to say, my mum used to refer to it as keeping up with the Joneses as like I guess a term for it. And when we were younger, like whenever we'd be like, I want the new thing, I want the new iPod, I want the new this, my mum would be like, we don't need to keep up with the Joneses. Like, we don't need to do that. We don't need to be cool or like be seen as a certain way in society. But I think that, I guess it is just feeling the need to have all the coolest, newest trending items and then like always replacing things to make sure that you have whatever that might be. And I think that the one that we participate in the most has always been getting the newest iPhone. And I think that's a really good example of like the overconsumption thing, because I bet you that most of our listeners, if you probably have a drawer somewhere in the house where they have old iPhones, old iPods, old iPads just sitting around. And like, that's one thing I really hate about Apple, because they literally participate in this themselves. And I get it, it's like a business, but like their tech doesn't last that long, really. It like we told you guys last week, like Ash's MacBook died and it's not that old. Realistically, a laptop shouldn't just die. And like, I feel like there should be a better way to upgrade technology or have parts replaced, rather than just be like, oh, I've had this iPhone for 3 years and now I'm going to get the new one because I want the newest camera. Like, I have the iPhone 13 and it's probably my favorite phone that I've ever had. I honestly don't see that much difference between the 13 and the new 16s that are coming out and things like that. Like, they're really similar. They look the same, to be honest. Same features. Like, maybe they've got better performance and better screen quality and better cameras, but like, how much better can our cameras really get? My iPhone 13's got a great camera. Like, why do we feel the need to constantly have like this new tech or the new whatever it might be? Because the reality is the stuff you've got at home probably works. And if it doesn't, like, we should be able to like get it fixed, you know?
No, I absolutely agree. I think it started in high school. Remember when someone would come to school with like the new iPhone and then suddenly you'd be like, oh, now I'm not as like cool because now I don't have that. Or
I used to get so annoyed.
You and Danny and like all of my friends in school were all getting the iPhone 6 and I had the iPhone 4. And I was like,
The iPhone 4.
Oh my God. And the 4 was fucking awful. Like the 6 was so much better. So like reasonably like different. But I remember just being like, oh my God, there goes my self-worth because I don't have this new iPhone. And I feel like it, even like when we think about our parents, like our parents felt the same way about getting like disc and what's it called, like different like record players and like,
Yeah,
I guess like outfits and cars. No, I feel like our parents would have had to go through this thing as well, like not having the right things in school and feeling the need to like keep up with stuff. And
flip
now
phones.
it's just gotten, flip phones. Now it's just gotten past the point of like being able to keep up.
You can't. It's too quick. Because the other thing is,
it's
like,
too ever changing.
Also, like, I got my phone 3 years ago. In like the start of next year. 3 years isn't a long time, and the phone still works great and it's amazing. But think about how many other variants of the iPhone have come out in the last 2.5 years since I got my brand new iPhone 13 at the time. Like, you can't keep up with it. You have to get a new phone every 6 months, which is just ridiculous. You don't need to.
It's trying to say, or you can upgrade to the new phone whenever the new one comes out. It's like, why should I be doing that? But interesting to talk about technology. I definitely want to talk about beauty as well while we're on the topic of kind of like upgrading and stuff. I feel like to have in your makeup bag so many different variations of like blushes and bronzers and I don't know, like just so much stuff. Like, what do you think about that? Because I am obviously super heavily into makeup. Like, that's, I'm a makeup artist at the end of the day. Like, I will always find a use and like a need and a space for it. But I do agree for like the vast majority of people who just have like their daily essentials, you shouldn't feel like you need to go, oh my God, like I need to have like 8 shades of like the Rare Beauty blush. Like, you need to find the one that you like, or 1 or 2. Like, what's your perspective of that?
Yeah, I think especially because of like TikTok and stuff like that, I feel like people are constantly trying to sell you something. And something interesting about that is like influencers have normalized overconsumption, but they literally get everything for free. They'll be like, oh my God, look at me restocking my makeup cupboard, and they've got like 5 of everything just sitting there. But like, realistically, the average consumer's looking at that going, oh my God, I need 5 of everything. But then they're going to, go out and buy 5 of everything. They're probably spending way more money than they need to. But the person that kind of convinced them to do that literally got sent PR packages to their household and didn't pay a cent for that, which makes sense of why they've got so much lying around. Like, I get why they have it.
And I'm finding that happens a lot with like our cream products now, whereas I feel like back in the day no one used cream products. Like, it was literally all like powders, which
absolutely
last you so long. And now it's just like, I don't know, like the hooks that they get you in TikTok, run to the store because you need this, or like if this isn't in your kit, like or like if you don't have this in your bathroom. And it's like, I don't know, I feel like everyone's just kind of trying to keep up with this like perfect Instagram, Pinterest, TikTok lifestyle, and it's just unmanageable now. Like, even talking about the living crisis in Australia and like all over the world, I just feel like it's, oh, okay, because I don't have this hair oil. Like, I know.
I know, and I think the thing is as well, coming back to the whole, like, when people are trying to have these satisfyingly restocked makeup cupboards and like drawers full of stuff, you don't need five of everything just sitting there like ready for when you know, might run out of one. Realistically, like, you don't need everything sitting around in bulk because it's probably just going to go off. Like, I don't really have that much makeup. I have like a one tiny bag. It's literally a pencil case full of one of everything that I need. And sometimes if I do end up buying a few nice new makeup products that are like really good quality, I will wait until my last foundation is like, you know, used up before I open the new box. But like, if I have anything lying around in bulk, it's going to be like maybe one extra for when something's about to run out. And I will never ever go buying a new foundation or buying a new whatever unless, like, you know, within the next month it's going to be used up so that I'm like ready to go. And like, oh, one thing I would like to talk about, bulk buying. It's an interesting one because like there's a time and a place for it. And like, we've got places like Costco now, and like, it's so funny, like Ash was talking about before, like the way that when you get older, you start to care about like your homewares and your beds and things like that. I have never heard so many people talk about Costco until this year. And like, honestly, I didn't really know much about it before, but a lot of my friends have gone and gotten Costco memberships. And if anybody's been there before, obviously, you know, you can just bulk buy items for like, I guess, cheaper. Part of me wonders if that, like, the popularity of bulk buying is a bit of like it's like come from COVID, because at the time everybody freaked out and felt the need to just like restock on everything because they thought the world was ending. We needed 10 packs of toilet paper lying around. If anybody remembers, like, how there was no toilet paper left. Like, I just think that we kind of almost conditioned ourselves to feeling the need to just have everything restocked in our house. Like, you have your own little shop so that when you run out of something, it's like there. But like, it's just unnecessary and it takes up so much space. It's so expensive to do things like that. But yeah, I'd love to know your thoughts on like bulk buying.
I guess it just depends what it is. Like, if it's stuff like, I guess, like household essentials and stuff, like cleaning products, and maybe not cleaning products, but like if just general use things like paper towel and toilet paper and like etc. I think that's fine, but it's also just like, at what point does too much become too much?
I agree. And also, like, it's just so hard because when you're bulk buying things, I wonder, I mean, I don't really know that much about like the economy. So if you're somebody that knows stuff about inflation and the economy, like, don't come at me. But I do wonder if like the rise of overconsumption and having to bulk buy and having to have everything has added to like the inflation situation, because there's just such a bad balance of supply and demand because we're just buying. And when I did do a teeny bit of research on inflation and like interest rates on the housing and things like that, and like the way it all works, because I think because of COVID and times of like that, and we all ran out of money, and then the Centrelink started and we all got given stuff and we all started buying stuff, like we were just buying everything. And I think we are really like conditioned to just buy everything we see on the internet these days. But apparently, like, based on, once again, correct me if I'm wrong, because in the economy, everyone's just, you know, purchasing so much stuff and we just keep spending. It's just adding to inflation. So I'd be really curious to see if there's like any connections between the two, if that makes sense. Me just like so talking about the economy, I'm like, I don't know anything.
I think this trend is honestly like one of the best things that could have happened.
As in the underconsumption trend?
Yeah. I feel as though like, I have a cupboard full of just, I don't know, like products that I haven't used in such a long time. And I feel like it's just unnecessary for everyone to just be having like bulk amounts of like lotions and like hair products and stuff. So it's like, I mean, I don't want to influence anyone to just go and throw out all of these things.
Absolutely not.
Because that's not good for the environment either. But just looking at what you have, like maybe moving stuff around in your cabinet so that you know that you need to use more of this or whatever it might be. But yeah, that's a hard thing because I feel like now everyone's just going to go throw a bunch of perfectly good things out.
Absolutely. Because everybody's being like, clear out your cupboards. Just to transition this conversation, I think it'd be nice to talk about the ways that we underconsume or things that we are going to do to kind of do better. Because like Ash said, like I think a lot of people are seeing this underconsumption trend and going, let's throw everything out. But like I feel like if you do have excessive amounts of like products or samples or like hair care and things like that that aren't off and they can still be used but you're not personally going to use them, they're just sitting there, go donate them. Like text your friends, like any friends that you have that are struggling and you've got some nice products, like just give it to them. Like you could be doing that to better somebody else and also decrease the amount of clutter and, you know, things that you've got around your house. But it is hard because I just think that the rate at which we buy and consume and go through things just has such a massive impact on the environment, which is like, I think something a lot of people our age really do care about. Like we all want to reduce our footprint and make sure that we're, you know, taking less than what we're leaving behind, if that makes sense. Like you don't want to constantly be just going through things and throwing everything out and like, I don't know, it's hard. I just feel like it's just the world we live in.
I hope that people don't find this and go, oh my God, like fun trend to overconsume, and then like all of a sudden to like be like a minimalist and like not have anything, and then for it to just go back to the way it was, because I know that like our generation is so fucking fast to just jump onto these kind of things and then be like, oh, like this is a bandwagon, like let me jump on this and then like let me forget about it like 6 months later. I just hope that this is something that people move forward with and go, you know what, true, like why do I need to have multiple things that I don't know, I'm trying to think of examples. Like I'm looking around now, I'm like, what have I got? I don't know. Like, I don't know, it's stuff that but if you know that you'll use it, for example, like I have got like 7 lip balms and I know that's excessive. And I've realized this is a problem. You don't need to buy any more lip balms. You don't really need one for every single handbag that you own.
Absolutely not.
You don't really need one to have like kept at work. You don't need to have one on your bedside table at all times. Like you can kind of maybe just have 2 and move them around as you go. So I've put myself on a lip balm ban, guys. I'm not going to go buying any more, but stuff like that. I think realizing, okay, this isn't feasible for me. Like I shouldn't be using this. Activewear. Okay, remember like back in the day, like swimmers used to be like the big thing when we were in high school, like owning heaps of different pairs of swimmers and like always having so many options. Keely was so guilty of that.
Oh, I've got a whole
guilty.
basket in my room right now.
Are you
but I wear
swimming
them
every single day?
Absolutely not. But I do wear them, I promise.
You probably can have like 3 pairs of swimmers. You know, if you go on a holiday and like you can just rotate between them. Like there's no reason to be like, oh, like I need a new pair of swimmers for this holiday when you've already got 3 or 4 pairs that are perfectly good, just because you need a new Instagram photo on those.
I was about to say that. I think we're really bad with having to buy just whatever it might be, buying new things so that we're not outfit repeating on Instagram, which is so annoying because like I personally don't want to be buying stuff every time I go somewhere or buying a new outfit every single time I go on a holiday. I would rather just wear my nice clothes and then wait until, you know, they're no good anymore, donate them and buy new stuff. But like, it's just so hard because I feel like we're all kind of like, oh, everybody else is doing it, so I need to too. But I actually think that's why it's really good that we've got places like dress hire companies, because if you are just going to like one wedding or one event and like you're probably not going to wear that dress again because you don't want to outfit repeat, just hire one. I think it's such a great way to like reduce your impact.
Keely, that's like the best thing I think I've ever heard you say. I think dress hire is so underrated, and like, look, yes, can be a bit pricey, but when you're looking at spending like $60 or however many dollars on an outfit for the night, and you know that like it's not going to just go sit in your wardrobe for the next 2 years, you're going to look at it and go, oh, I'll wear that to a wedding one day, or maybe I'll have like a really fancy dinner. Like, no, that's not going to happen. Just order the dress from a dress hire, wear it, enjoy your event, and then you don't need to feel guilty for like spending $150, $200 on an outfit that's just going to sit in your cupboard.
Exactly, because you're spending more money to have it in the first place and you're probably never going to wear it again. Unless you are going to wear it again, then that's different. But like 100%, I agree. If it's like something that's for a really special event that you're going to have really like good photos from, that might be like your forever photos that you're going to use and like cherish, like maybe just hire it and then you don't look the same the next time you go to your next friend's wedding. I love how I'm talking about weddings, like we're going to weddings. We're absolutely not going to anytime soon. I am going to an engagement party soon.
I'm actually going to a wedding.
You're going to a wedding?
I'm going to a wedding in a couple months.
That's exciting. I'm going to an engagement party and I'm so happy. It's my first ever like friend that's gotten engaged. So it's like, it's weird. We're like going into like that stage of our lives now. Not that we're going to be doing that, but like our friends are, which is really cool. But moving on from that thought, I was going to say, I think that coming back to like beauty products, one thing that we were speaking to Danny's just literally a regular topic on our podcast now. She said the funniest comment. She was like, when it comes to self-care products, just use what you've got and then buy more, because you shouldn't have just 10 different cleansers and moisturizers, whatever it might be. Like, your skin isn't that special. It really isn't. Your skin isn't that special. You don't.
Something that she would
I
say.
know. She was like, you're not that special. But it's true. Like, I think a basic skin routine is way better. And oh my God, I've seen some things on TikTok lately, like, join me for my 16 step skin routine. And I'm like, why do you have 16
I literally
steps?
I literally saw two yesterday. 15-step scalp routine.
I saw one that was...
She high-frequencied her scalp.
Why?
And then did, like, a freaking scrub and, like... Oh my God, it was crazy. And then I saw one for your hands.
I saw the
she
hand
did,
one
like, this
too.
hand mask.
Oh my God, it was weird.
Like, which is fine. Like, do a hand mask. Like, put some hand lotion on. Like, call it a day. She was like, cuticle care, rah, rah, rah. Like, all this shit.
And then she put her hand in, like wax.
Like, paraffin wax.
Yeah, that was the one.
It's really good for your hands. But, like, I'm just like, it's so unnecessary. Like, do, like, one or two things. You don't need to be, like, run out and buy this cream and this product and this oil and, like, have, like, 18 of them. Like, if you have one of them and you, like, honestly do this regimen, like, whatever. But she was using, like, she was doing, like, 3 masks on her hands. And then she did, like, 3 different scrubs. And I was like, dude, like, when is too much too much?
I agree.
I feel like that's my catchphrase for today's
Too
episode.
much is too much. Oh my God, one more thing that I wanted to bring up was those videos where people do, like, an aesthetic fridge, and it's like in rainbow order, and they buy like each individual yogurt thing and they put it in a tray so it's like all neat and tidy. I'm like, okay, your fridge looks great. It's so cute and organized and aesthetic, and like I feel like everybody wants their fridge to look like that. But one, it's impractical as fuck, but it's such a waste of money and a waste of plastic. Like, you could just have one yogurt tub that's like a liter rather than buying 10 packets of separate yogurts. Like, maybe that's handy for like parents that are sending their kids to school and whatever it might be, just so you can like pick it up, put it down. But realistically, like, when we're talking about environmental impact, like, seriously, if you are taking stuff out of plastic just to put it in more plastic, and I don't know, it's just like a lot of double handling and a huge waste. I don't know. It looks great, but like...
I know. It's hard because, like, there is, like, consumer need for it when people, like, pack their lunches, and I'm thinking, like, I don't know, people that also work, like, physically demanding jobs that don't really have the time to sit there and be like, let me, like, get, like, my whole spoon and bowl out. But I really understand that, though. Ugh. But I think it's, like, where they have these little tiny empty jugs of, like, juices and stuff, and they fill it up with, like, from, like, a big thing of juice. It's like, just get a fucking cup.
Yeah, literally.
Out of the
so much
cupboard.
double handling.
Like, get a cup or a glass.
Also, who has time for this?
And then pour it in there instead of just, like, ordering these, like, 10-pack of glass miniature bottles from Amazon and then having it in your fridge. Like, what's the point in that?
I find that it takes up so much unnecessary space too. Like, I feel like if you just got, like, containers that you can reuse, pop your meal prep in them, have them all stacked in there. Like, maybe you're cutting up fruit and putting it into, like, reusable containers and things like that. Like, when people do that, like, that's great. That's really organized and practical. But, like, filling a quarter of your fridge up with juice bottles, why?
I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah.
Literally why. It reminds me of, like, the Kardashians, and they're like, look at my organized cookie jar and all this stuff. I'm like, okay, it looks great. Don't get me wrong. Like, I would love my fridge to look cute and aesthetic and rainbow order, but, like, realistically, we've all got jobs, we've all got lives. Some people have kids. Like, you don't have time to be doing that stuff. So I don't get it. Who are you influencing?
I just feel... I don't know, I just feel like, to conclude, I do think that this trend is amazing. Whoever started it, like, thank you, because I feel like it's gonna, I don't know, bring a lot of goodness to our society. But I don't know, I think it's been something that's been going on for a really long time, and I think that the internet is to blame.
Oh, 100%. And I think we all need to step back and actually be practical and be like, well, number one, who do I actually have around in my life that cares enough for me to be needing to do this? Because if your friends, family, whoever they are, care about what clothes you wear, care that you're outfit repeating, things like that, like they're probably not the right people to have in your life anyway. Because realistically, like the way you are perceived by your friends and family shouldn't be based on how many clothes and makeup products you own. So, like, I don't know, that if they care, that's weird. And like, I don't know, maybe don't be posting on Instagram trying to convince everybody else to buy X, Y, and Z. But right now, obviously, it's a trend to do underconsumption. So I feel like if you're posting about overconsumption, most people are probably going to judge you. But I don't know. The one that gets me though with the overconsumption is the perfume bottles. When people have like a whole shelf of like every single Victoria's Secret body spray that's ever existed. And I'm just like, you don't need it.
Oh, yeah. Like the 5-tier shelves and like they're all color coded.
Yeah. It's weird.
It's really hard because I understand like some of these people, it's kind of their job to influence, and then they get brands that send them packages and it's like, run out and go grab this. I get that. But I don't know. I think it's not also, it shouldn't be up to them all the time. It kind of needs to be you. And at some point, it's like, do I really need all these things? Like, sorry, but those 10 cleansers aren't going to make you any prettier, babe. No matter how much lip balm you've got, or no matter how many blush combos or whatever, like, it's not going to change anything to your life. It's not going to add anything else to your life.
If I can give anybody one piece of advice as somebody who's moved houses way too many times, if you have too much clutter, too much overconsumption happening in your life, it's going to be so hard to move houses. Like, take it from me. I've tried, and because I've moved quite a few times in the last 4 years, I've gotten rid of everything I own. I've donated so many things, and it's made my life so much easier. So like, especially for other people that are listening that are in their early 20s who may not have even moved out of home yet, like, cut back and don't become a minimalist if that's not for you, but like, cut back on how many unnecessary things you have before it's too late. Because once you move out of home and moving houses, you're going on holidays and things like that. If you own too much stuff, you're just gonna be like, oh my God, why did I do this to myself? So that's my advice to you.
I also just want to say, like, not everyone's always going to be staring at your makeup bag. Not everyone's always going to be staring at what you've got in your bathroom shelves. Like, no one's always going to be staring at your cupboard. And I remember one day I was going out with a friend, and she had said to me, oh, I can't wear this because I wore it last weekend. And I just was like, you didn't get any photos on Instagram? Like, no one probably remember. Like, and I said to her, I was like, do you remember what I wore last weekend? She was like, no, sorry. And I was like,
point in case.
Well, exactly. I was like, if you don't remember what I wore last weekend, no one is going to remember what you wore last week. You know, it's just, and it's so unnecessary. I just feel like next time you feel like, oh, I can't do this because people are not staring at you that much. They aren't. And I know it's a hard, tough pill to swallow, but no one cares that much what products you've got in your shower. No one cares what fancy shit's going on in your fridge, in your pantry. Like, no one actually cares that much.
Yeah, I agree. Everyone's got their own shit to worry about.
Also, maybe you don't need to upgrade your phone. Maybe you don't need to go buy that thing from Sephora just because the internet told you to. Like, yeah, you've also got to look out for your future self and know that, like, I think now is the time when we have spent so much money on things. Use this trend for good and save yourself a bit of money. Know that you're so valued and worthwhile even without all of these things that you see constantly. And I don't know, maybe it's also time to look at some of the people that you follow online who's influencing you to do this. Like,
absolutely.
Why? Just because Alex Earl has it doesn't mean that you need it.
I do love Alex Earl though.
I do. I love her. But like, yeah, I think it's also time to just look at who you're following on the interweb and understand that, I don't know, you don't always need to be looking at what other people have all the time. Oh, I need that. What do they have? What does Killy have? What does Ash have? Like, it's not always like that. Unless you genuinely like something, obviously, it's your own money, you're an adult, do whatever you want. But, yeah, just a bit of advice. And, yeah.
Our friendly advice for your Monday morning.
thank you guys. Let us know if you enjoyed this episode. I feel like the feedback on this one will be really interesting.
Absolutely.
But yeah,
we'd love to know what you think.
Chitty chatting.
Also, join our broadcast channel on Instagram. Sometimes we post little polls or like little question boxes in there. So if you want to join it, you can just jump on our bio. It's on there. And yeah, we'd love to have you as a part of the conversation. Also, Spotify recently added comments to podcasts. So if you have any thoughts about our episodes, we'd love to hear them. Shoot them through. But we hope you guys have a fantastic week. We're really looking forward to coming back at you soon. And we hope that you have a fantastic day.
We love you guys.
Bye.